Hi everyone, and welcome to Between the Shores, where we go Sunday to Sunday and really seek to listen to what is God speaking, what are some things to be pondering and considering this week as we move from Sunday to Sunday. Last Sunday, Pentecost Sunday, the birthday of the church. So happy birthday, church, from around the world. It's amazing, billions of believers in Jesus coming from God coming to earth, the 12 disciples. At the upper room, there was a bunch of them waiting for 10 days, Heather, you were saying on Sunday, a 10-day prayer meeting. 10 days full on. And I know it's interesting this past week, Lectio 365, which is a wonderful prayer app. If you are curious, it's on the App Store. And it actually went through, like, what would be some of the things that they'd be even praying through? And they're just kind of, like, thinking through that. And the Psalms would have been a huge part of what they were praying for. And Heather, on Sunday, I love how you brought in the three key feasts as a part of the Jewish, that they were things that God said, these are the things I want you to celebrate.
Right.
Of course, there was, Pentecost falls right on Shavuot, which is the Feast of the Harvest.
Right.
But also all these three feasts, there are specific psalms that they would sing as they would go up to Jerusalem, so songs of ascent. And so, through this Lectio 365, this prayer, they were talking about how they were probably praying some of these psalms. For sure. And, even singing them as they were preparing, as they were waiting on the Lord over those 10 days. And so, even 10, like you said, how 50 is a significant number.
Yeah.
And like Pentecost is like 50 days. Like it all, like, this is not by accident. No?
Right.
It just happened randomly.
Right.
Yeah.
Like there's actually things that connect, right? From the Old Testament to today, God's been, his story has been unfolding, yet it all connects from the beginning till now, which is, like, that just makes me realize just what an amazing God that we serve. But 10 is that significant number too. 10 to mean when something is ending and new is beginning. Like a decade is 10, right?
Yeah.
So there's this shift.
Yes.
So it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just the fact that he waited until he knew that all of the Jews were going to be there.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, there was a crowd when people went out and started to say, look, this is what happened.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there
all
wouldn't have been.
witnessed it. That's right.
Yeah.
Without that festival,
Yeah.
there wouldn't have been the same kind of crowd
Yeah.
in the morning.
Yeah, the crowd wasn't there for the crucifixion.
That's right.
They were there for something else. And then this was after.
After
That's right.
Which is like, wow, you got to do it right in the middle of everything.
Yeah.
And know that, the timing, God's timing is
God's timing
amazing.
is perfect.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But it looks so disastrous.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, for them, that yes, they knew Christ was risen.
Yeah.
But it's like, now what?
Now what?
We're going into uncharted territories.
Right.
And,
I'm sure there was lots of that in the prayer room, right? Like,
Yes.
what? But
Yeah.
but just the fact that I think the ability to wait for 10 days and know that he's spoken and there's something coming.
Yes.
That, and not lose hope and not lose patience and want to go ahead of God.
Yeah.
Well, I love how you brought out Mount Sinai, right? When they first received the Torah, and Moses had gone back up the mountain.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even, I don't think it was 10 days.
No, I don't think it was.
And they were like,
Party.
frustrated.
Yeah.
Let's build an idol
let's
that
get
we
off
can.
the ramp here.
Yeah, let's have a party.
That's right.
Our own party. This is taking too long. And then you brought up how when the struggle and the wait is we want to control.
Right.
Yeah.
We want to figure it out.
Yes.
We struggle with the waiting.
Yep.
And so what a redemption from the first time the covenant, the law was given to this.
Yeah.
Yes. And just a demonstration of God saying, like, trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yes.
Like, I know it.
Yeah.
It's hard to wait, but trust me.
Yeah.
I will come through.
It'll come through.
Yeah.
And the fire on the mountain,
Yep.
tons of fire.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the 3,000 people that died because of the idol, right?
Yeah.
And then the 3,000 that were saved that day. Like, it's just like
Yeah.
redemption.
Yeah.
Redemption.
And I couldn't help but think too of the Tower of Babel, right? Like they again tried to control something, and we're going to build something.
Yeah.
And God, I think often we will like want to build something and say, just do it, and then God will bless it.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
And
yes.
it's like, no,
Yes.
He's not going to bless something that He doesn't birth in the
Yeah.
first place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, from the ground up, and He's just like, to confuse their languages and scatter them, and then in Pentecost, to
Yeah.
does something different with the languages,
Right. Yes.
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 but
yes.
causes them to look on in wonder and not like, oh, it's happening,
Yes.
you know? It's beautiful.
Yeah, because they were from all different parts of the
Yeah.
empire,
That's
right?
right.
And so they spoke these different languages, and
Right.
they heard the gospel in their own language.
Right?
Yeah.
But yet it wasn't chaos.
That's right.
Yeah.
They were a little bit wondering what was
For
going
sure.
on.
There was people that rejected it and were like,
Yes.
oh, these guys are drunk,
Drunk.
right?
Yes, that's right. Yes.
But then there were others that were like, only God. You know, there's something going on here.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
And it's the that change between empire and kingdom,
right.
and
That's
the
a
way
good point. Yep.
the way the kingdom comes is just so unexpected,
That's right.
and still
Yeah.
Yes.
He comes in unexpected ways, and He loves to start small and always start
good.
small, work
Yes.
out in within us, you
Mhm.
know, and it's always inside
That's
out.
right. Yeah.
Yes.
And you know,
Always
even
inside
your humble pictures and stuff.
out. Yes.
It's
Yeah.
it's what God births within us,
Right.
but it's a long process.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
that little boy's like how old now?
He's 24 in September.
Wow.
Yeah.
20. Yeah.
If you didn't happen to hear the message yet on Sunday,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Check it
share,
out online.
being a first-time mom and the whole birthing process, it was not
Not what
what
you
she thought.
expect.
Yeah.
But God is still so faithful, right? And it's just like the beauty that comes from
Yeah.
the struggle, the beauty
Yes.
that comes from the waiting. And I think it's
So good.
amazing how we discussed this a little bit in our staff kind of debrief this morning about how these Thursday mornings of prayer,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
God will often give us a picture or a word of something that
Yep.
He's going to bring out. And Tracy had this sense from a word that Elizabeth shared
Yeah.
of just this birthing pain
Yeah.
of about to happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so for God to even just speak to me again in that way of the birthing and like share this story and
Yeah.
no,
That is like
Lord.
no.
Took him a few times to convince me that
Yeah.
yeah, He's so good and
He is
He's
so
trying He's speaking all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's not always in the way that we think.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's through those vulnerable moments when
Mhm.
it isn't what we think it is.
Right.
When we do get a chance to share those, like when the Lord has us to, unveil those things, and there's something that even happens in our spirit to go,
Oh yeah.
okay, in my own struggle,
Mhm.
God, you see me. I'm not alone.
Yes.
Like to hear another struggle, right, and
Yeah.
recognize the physical pieces that go with it. It's like, okay, God, you've got a bigger purpose. Because to hear how, that the whole thing with Josiah, his name, and how even
Mhm.
before you were married, like you
Yes.
had this sense that you'd have a little boy
Yep.
named Josiah,
And this would be
and
his
he's
name.
the first one, and
Yeah.
like the redemption of that.
Yeah, and I remember, I didn't share this yesterday, but he was 9 months old and we had gone to Australia for my brother's wedding. And we were at a church and worship was playing and I was holding him and he's only 9 months old and he's raising his hands. And the picture that God had given me that day was this little boy
Yeah.
with his hands raised and the fact that just anyways, that's a whole other topic, but
Yeah.
the children knowing
Yeah.
at 9 months old and like just the reverence and the awe of who God is, that he would lift his hands
Yeah.
like that. It's just God's just so he's so much bigger
Yeah, yes.
than we try that little box, right?
Yeah.
That we try to put him in.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
And it does come back to what we struggle with in terms of I want something that feels comfortable
Yeah.
to me.
Yes.
And so that's why, oftentimes we'll create a golden calf, like this
Right.
is something that I feel comfortable with,
Right.
Yeah.
and then just assume, well, God, like, you'll be okay, right?
Right. Right.
And He will blow up those golden calves
He
because
will.
that's not who He is,
Yeah.
and those are the painful things
It is.
that we walk through.
Yeah.
But we all walk through that stuff because it's part of our struggle in humanity is
Right.
to let go
Right.
of the control
Mhm.
and trust Him. And I think, and not this sermon, I think it was a couple of sermons ago, you just talked about how, like even with obedience, like God, help me be obedient. Like help me to do that. And that's
We can't do that on our own.
we can't.
No.
We need His help, right?
Yeah.
Like it's hard.
He
because
didn't come to like, you know, like I keep coming back to this, but like he didn't come to save this.
the flesh.
This still dies.
Exactly.
But that
Yeah.
doesn't change.
Yes.
And so, but there's a rebirth in our spirit.
Yes.
And so to walk in that instead of this,
Exactly.
we're still living in that struggle.
Yes, we
Yeah.
are.
But we do have a helper.
That's right.
And
Yes.
his name is Holy Spirit.
That's right.
Yeah.
And He does that inside
Yeah,
work.
and
inside
He
work.
wants to make the life of Christ come out in us,
Right.
so that even in our flesh, it honors Him. I
Right.
mean, He
Yeah.
created us in this way,
Yeah.
and is one day going to restore all things.
Yeah.
Yes.
And even that restoration of the flesh is we put on our heavenly clothing,
Yep.
That's right.
which is who knows?
Yep. You know, so I love how
Yeah.
Paul talks about that.
Yeah.
Like you put a seed
Yeah.
in the ground
Yeah.
and you don't know
Yeah.
what's going to come from that. That's the
Yeah.
same thing with
Well, I think about the whole, a butterfly.
Right.
It's that total transformation.
Right.
And we think it's this, and it goes from a caterpillar to this. Like,
Right.
yeah.
who would have come up with that?
Right.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's just so. Who knows what God's ultimate design is? But yet the Spirit saying, "Yeah, keep trusting me.
You're
Yeah.
trusting me.
Yep.
Keep submitting to me.
Yes.
Keep surrendering to me. Keep
Yeah.
obeying me.
Yes.
Because like I know when we look back over our lives,
Mm.
coming from the first time I gave my life to Jesus to now,
Yeah.
there was things that I struggled with and things, that you're trying to walk out that I don't anymore.
Mm.
Not to say I will ever arrive,
Yeah.
but there are things that Holy Spirit has helped me overcome that in my flesh I could never do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Yes.
it's pertinent. It is our helper.
Yeah.
He is our helper, not
Yeah.
it. And
Yes.
and without him we couldn't do this. So even just like you said, Holy Spirit, help me to be obedient.
Yeah.
Help me to want to be obedient.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Because my flesh doesn't even want to
That's right.
a lot of the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the
So,
struggle.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's this wonder, like I love how you did bring into the message the childbirth piece, which is, talking about the vulnerability and how it wasn't like you expected.
Right.
But there's also like you just talked about the childlike wonder that Josiah at 9 months was worshiping
Right.
and, is not fully formed yet, but yet had this sense, right?
Yes.
And so I was even thinking yesterday with Pentecost, like God help us to have that childlike wonder.
Yeah.
And in last week, you talked about we can't understand.
That's
Yeah. Not figure it all
We
out.
can't figure it all out.
Yeah.
And so how do we turn to that place of wonder and go, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to know the answers, but go, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I do see.
And what's wonderful, like what you brought in the very first week in the series, is His desire to draw near to us is even greater than all of our
Absolutely.
responses
That's
to
right.
Him.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
this has always been His plan,
That's right.
and I mean, nothing is a surprise, but yet He is so present,
Right.
Yeah.
and and this is all about restoring that original design, which was never a surprise to Him.
Right.
Yeah.
Which
that's right.
was always His
never.
plan. Like,
That's right.
yeah, it's not like, oh, now we gotta go with
Now I
plan B.
have to-
Yeah, that's right, that's
No,
right.
this is like, no, this is gonna, and it's actually showing us how incredible He is.
That's right.
I mean,
Yeah.
more than anything, it's how,
Yeah.
wow.
And what patience.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
to wait. Because that's the back to the 10
Yeah.
days of
Yeah.
prayer. Like,
He's waiting
been
for
a
us.
long-
That's right.
I mean, he's not in time,
We
but
think we're waiting for Him, and He's waiting for
For
us.
us.
Like,
Yes.
yes.
right?
Yeah.
That's like
Beautiful.
really good way to put it.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Can they get this 50 days in?
Yeah, that's right. Can they do this without it exploding?
Yeah.
Oh,
good.
wow. Well, Holy Spirit, we're going to, we're so thankful for Him and for the church. And like the church has been like through its own message because there's been humanity
That's right.
in the church, but the Spirit is what has come in and is knitting us together and is preparing us
Yeah.
for what is to come. And so, wow, like that's what we're looking forward to is what is to come. And we're going to continue to unpack this message, these messages on Holy Spirit. So we've got number of weeks left. So
Yeah.
you're going to take some time to share some more stuff about the
Yeah.
inner world,
Yes.
the inner stuff. We'll see. But as we've learned about this series so
Yeah.
far,
Let the Lord lead.
what we think he's changing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is beautiful and humbling. Like, it's humbling,
Yeah.
but
It
it's
is.
also beautiful because when we actually like stop and obey and listen,
Right.
Yeah.
then he unfolds things that we're like, oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you talked about even your week about him entering into our chaos, right?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
it's like the chaos of Pentecost. He was
Yes.
right there in it. What
Yeah.
looked chaotic
Yes.
was really
Yeah.
his order.
Yes.
You know?
Exactly. It
And like in our
exactly is.
preparations of all
Yeah.
of this, it's chaotic. It was like, no, go this way. No,
Yeah.
I want you to do. Oh, Joel, just
Yeah.
drop that all together.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But he's
Yeah.
in all of it, and that's
Absolutely.
beautiful.
Yes. Yes. So we're gonna have a chance to experience more, and our prayer is that you
Yeah.
are also beginning to see and experience Holy Spirit in new,
Yes.
beautiful ways.
Mm-hmm.
That is our heart. So yeah. So have a great week, and we look